Everybody. Okay. So, if any of you are fans of The Walking Dead and video games, then you've probably heard, and have a Xbox or PS3, sorry, my bad. Then you probably heard that yesterday, right? No, Tuesday. Tuesday, the first episode of The Walking Dead video game by Telltale Games was released on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. I was a little skeptical when I first heard about the game because I was confused at first. I was just like, okay, so it's a comic book, a TV show, and now it's going to be a video game. So I wasn't sure what they were going to do with it. But I got it yesterday out of pure curiosity just to see how it was because I'd seen a few screenshots and it looked kind of cool because it's very stylized. The graphics are very stylistic in that they look like the characters from the comic books art wise. Only three-dimensional, moving around and talking and kicking ass. But anyway, you get my point. So I downloaded that yesterday, along with the season pass. So now whenever a new episode comes out, and I think a new one comes out every month. So May is going to be the second episode. So I got the season pass, which means I can automatically download it right as soon as it comes out. Yeah. So the story follows a character named Lee Everett. I don't want to do any spoilers or anything, but he did something that landed him in a police car. He's talking to a cop, and there's police chatter on the radio, like saying something. Like I couldn't really pick up what they were saying, only there was some kind of emergency. And you see a helicopter fly overhead, and you see him in the back seat, like, what's going on? Also, they're driving away from Atlanta, that big city in the TV show where Rick gets his horse eaten by a mob of hungry zombies. Or walkers, whatever you prefer. I prefer zombies because that's what they are. But yeah, so Lee Everett isn't in the TV show or the comic book. He's an original character just for the game. There's a few original characters, including Clementine, who is a little girl who Lee Everett decides to take in and help until her parents show up. They're dead. Kind of obvious, but it's kind of obvious from the get go. Like there's voicemails on the thing, and you hear Clementine's mother saying in the voicemail that her husband got no, her husband or someone who I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Someone who was traveling with them got attacked by some crazy guy, and they had to go to the emergency rooms. And it's implied that it was a walker that attacked him, and he turned, and you know. So Clementine's parents, I'm pretty sure, are dead. We'll probably find out later on in the season, but yeah, there are actually a couple of characters from the TV show and the comic books who are actually in the game. The ones I've seen so far are Herschel and Glenn. Herschel and Glenn. And I've heard that Rick comes in later. They mentioned it in one of the websites I was looking up for a review, that you do end up bumping into Rick Grimes eventually. And presumably everyone who's with him. So I'm pretty sure most, if not all, of the characters from the comic book or the TV show, or both, are going to be in it. I hope Shane's not. I hate Shane. I was so happy when he died in the TV show. But, and the comics, even though in the comic books he literally dies in the first volume. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, that's about it. Also, it's actually kind of interesting, the gameplay, because there's action buttons. Different buttons do different things, and they show up on the screen. Like if you're fighting a zombie, for example, you have to aim the cursor at a precise spot on the zombie and hit the button in the time that you have to hit it, or you die. I died many times yesterday before I figured that out. I was like, oh shit. So, yeah. And also, there's actually it's actually kind of was really frustrating because essentially you end up in a drugstore and you have to get into the pharmacy for some reason I will not disclose because that's a spoiler, but you have to go into the pharmacy and you go into the office and there's a door. It's locked. I looked all over that drugstore for the key. I could not find it. And I didn't realize until later when another objective popped up that you actually need to complete the second objective first in order to get what you need for the first objective that comes up. So it's actually kind of confusing at first, but once you understand like where it's going, it's pretty easy to figure out what you need to do. I almost looked up a walkthrough, but then I was just like, no, I must do this myself. I must do this myself. It's only a short 1 to 2 hour game, depending on how quickly you play it and how many people you talk to and how long you talk to them. So I decided to figure it out on my own, and it took a couple of hours. But when I did, when I finally figured out what I was doing, I felt really stupid. I'm like, wow, that was so obvious. How did I not figure that out? So, wow, it's already a 6 minute long video. Holy crap. I should probably wrap this up. So, yeah. If you are a fan of anything Walking Dead, comic books, TV show, anything, I highly recommend this game. It's actually really affordable. You can get you can either get the first episode for $4.99, I think it is, or you can get a season pass for all of the games all of the episodes when they come out. And I think a season pass is about 15 to 20 bucks, which actually isn't too bad because if you do the math, 5 episodes, which I believe are in the season, 5 to 6 episodes, $4.99 each. That would actually be, if you buy them one at a time, it would actually be more money. So if you get a season pass and access to all of the episodes right off the bat, you're actually paying like a buck or two less than you would be if you just bought them individually. So I highly recommend buying the season pass, because that way, as soon as the next episode comes out, you get notified and you can download it right away because it automatically goes into your downloads. They know you downloaded it already. So, yeah, I highly recommend it for all you zombie buffs out there. Even if you don't know the TV show or the comic books, I highly recommend the game, because it's complete. For the most part, it is a completely different storyline. The characters are different, the plot is different for the most part, and only a few characters from the get-go from the TV show and the comic are introduced in the first episode. There might be more later, as I mentioned, but yeah, I highly recommend it. And that's about it because my video was going a little over 8 minutes now. So I'll record a video sometime this weekend, maybe. For some reason, I was thinking of doing a reaction video of myself playing Dead Space 2 for the first time in God knows how long, and I still haven't beaten the game, so I'm going to start a new game, and yeah, it's probably going to be at nighttime because it won't be as funny otherwise. So keep an eye out for a reaction video. I may or may not do it. I'll probably chicken out because I still can't even play that game in the daytime anymore. It just freaks me the hell out. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, so I'm gonna cut this video here and have a good day, everybody.